anytime, any day. Why not right now? Stop looking up to your boss and start being your own boss. Don't work for paychecks. Work for dreams with no regrets. This is Cracking the Entrepreneur Code. If you have the passion, we'll create the blueprint. Now, your host. You know him from his 7 tips to build the business you always wanted, and now you're about to hear a lot more. Jack H.M. Wong.
Welcome to the other episode of Cracking the Entrepreneur Code podcast. In this episode, it's an extension of what I've done in the last episode about asking questions. This episode is about entrepreneur. Do you have your ego, who is not your amigo? There's a phrase for that. Your ego is not your amigo. Or would you be vulnerable and ask for help? You heard me. Ask for help. I'm a man. I'm a family breadwinner. I'm a tall guy. I'm 6 foot and I'm 170 pounds. So I'm such a big guy. Why do I need to ask for help? Because the Asian culture created this dilemma. If I am asking for help, it shows my weakness. How many of you have heard of this before, especially if you're from Asia? So as a guy, I have already been told many times when I was young, please do not ask for help. If you've got problem, solve the problem by yourself. And if you are asking people to help you, you look weak. In the world of entrepreneurship, trust me, that doesn't really work well. You may ask, why is that so? Let me ask you this question. Are you a guy who knows everything? If you say yes, well, you can stop this episode because that is the end of our conversation. I bet if I speak to 100 people, there could be one person who shows up and said, well, I know everything. And we call this guy a person who is living in denial. Why? Because the person essentially claims that he knows everything, pretending that he knows everything, but you can actually ask the person a couple of things he doesn't know, and you know what? You can prove the guy he doesn't know everything. Okay, so to me, if a person is living in denial, okay, that's fine. That's the end of the conversation. I hope that you are not, so please go on and please continue listening to this episode. So if you are a person who don't know everything, that is a good news, because now that you are not the person who knows everything, you have the liberty to ask for help. And in my mentor's teaching, there's a very useful flip chart that I'm now using also, is to make a request. Now listen to me, I'm using these 3 words together, make a request. Now you will find that what's the problem of saying make a request as opposed to something like, can you please help me? Okay, so there is a subtle difference from a subconscious mind viewpoint. Now, this is my own theory and experience. I'm not saying that it will sound reasonable to you. However, if I say, can you please help me? What happened? I'm actually giving my power away. Can you please help me? Yes, you become vulnerable and you are subject to other person's control. So indirectly, from a subconscious mindset, you are giving your power away. So to a strong leader like myself, it is not a very good one because I can't be seen as giving my power away. I've got to retain my power, my energy, because I need that for running my show. Okay? But having said that, if I say, I'm now making a request. So if you say no to me, I'm now making a request to see if there are anybody out there who is able to help me. You see that from the tonality perspective, I stay neutral. I'm not shown as being weak. I'm making a request. As opposed to, can you please help me? Is that who is more vulnerable? Which one would you feel that the person is more vulnerable? You can tell, right? I hope that you can. So if I'm making a request, if I'm a respectful leader, and if the other guy is able to commit to helping me, you know what? I will get my request fulfilled. If the person is not a right fit or he or she is not able to help me, a direct no to me is okay. Because rejection, this is not really a rejection. It's that I make a request. Well, of course, the answer is either a yes or no. So it's okay to have a no because you will not get a yes all the time. So if you do not get a yes, what do you do next? Make a request again. This is exactly a current situation that I'm facing where I'm running an event for Blessinger end of this month in Hanoi. And what happened is that I need 10 people to be in my logistic team because I'm the leader of the team. And right now, what happened is that I've only got 4 people who have committed to the time of this event. So I said, okay, I've only 3 more weeks to go. I need to assemble a team of 10. I need 6 people. So what do? I have to look around for people, right? That's right, I have to look for people. But how do I ask for help? I actually make an announcement. I'm here making a request to see if people can help me and my team. So he's a lot more neutral compared to I am writing a note. Can you all please help me? I'm in trouble right now. Do you see the difference? So I've been repeating myself again and again, I noticed, because I want you to get this. I want to get that if you make a request as opposed to asking for help, there's always a better way to ask for help. Make a request is okay. And you know what? As a direct result of making a request, not just once but twice, I've got 2 more people who are keen to commit to join me in this event as part of my team. So, okay, I got results. 2 more people have said yes to me because they felt that, okay, the message is clear. They are rearranging their commitment to make themselves available for 5 days in Hanoi, Vietnam, end of this month. So it's good. So that's why I say make a request is very powerful. So coupled with the fact that I'm not a knower, I make a request, you know what? I get something that I need. So as an entrepreneur, like I said earlier, if you do not know anything, you ask for help. It's fine. I make a request. Can someone help me find something? Can someone help me get this? Can somebody help me to do that? Well, you may find that, wow, how come you're so bossy? How come you are so bossy? But you know what? If I say, I'm making a request. If you say I'm making a request first, that would tone down the bossy tone of your request actually. Otherwise, you see the point is that you may look so vulnerable on one hand, or you may sound like very bossy on the other hand. So I love this phrase that I learned from my mentor. I'm now here making a request. So I want you to repeat after me. I am always willing to make a request. Actually, the first few words are not important, but I want you to train yourself, to condition yourself that making a request is perfectly fine. And it's okay to get a no, because when you make a request, you either get a yes or no. So don't get upset and ask this question. Why do you not help me? Why do you not help me if I'm now making a request? So you know what? Next time I'm not going to help you. Come on, guys. We are all adults. If the person cannot commit, it's okay to get a no from the person, isn't it? There's nothing personal. It's a matter of making a request. All right? So the funny thing about making a request, I've used it for my life in the last few months. It's like I make a request like I need to have a props. The props basically is one of the tools that we use in activity in Hanoi. But I do not have that. I do not have the picture. I know what it is, but I cannot describe to the events team how exactly they can source for that props in Ho Chi Minh, in Hanoi. So what I did was I'm making a request to my counterpart in Phoenix, Arizona. I said, can I make a request? I need to have a picture of this prop. Can you show me how it looks like so that I can send this picture to my event team in Hanoi so that they are able to source for the same thing for us to conduct that particular activity. You see, I am making request all the time. Like this morning when I woke up, I said, oh, I have actually like 300 messages in my WhatsApp, but about half of them are relating to making a request. So I was very bogged down with this making a request for the whole freaking morning already. So I'm now doing this episode around 3:25 p.m. So I'm quite mentally exhausted after making so many requests, which has become part of my life. So it's okay. So I want you to understand that if you don't know everything, it's good, because now you know you have the power, you have the ability of making the request. All right? So sounds repeating, but I hope that you are conditioned with making a request. And you know what? If you want to share this episode with your peers because they have not been asking for help, so share this episode with them and let them know, let them feel the benefits of making a request. And for you, if you are the one who had been saying, I know everything, I want you to surrender to the process and be willing to ask for help and make a request too. All right? So be relentless and be willing to make a request. This is Jack Wong. Thank you for listening to Cracking the Entrepreneur Code podcast. I will see you next time. Bye.
To continue cracking the entrepreneur code, subscribe for more episodes and download the Amazon bestseller, Cracking the Entrepreneur Code, 7 Tips to Build the Business You Always Wanted at crackingentrepreneur.com. Learn more about author and host Jack H.M. Wong and book your 30-minute discovery session to overcome any professional challenge at jackhmwong.com/apply.